Padres were in first place for all of what?
Your birthday.
48 hours from Wednesday night to Friday night, I think it lasted. And then we fell back into a first place tie with the Dodgers after we dropped game one. And then the sadness continued all weekend long. It was one of the most depressing, I think, Padres weekends of the season. And in retrospect, baseball can be a cruel game sometimes. And, you know, we were riding high coming in, 5-game winning streak. They were riding low coming in, 4-game losing streak. And yet somehow we've just totally reversed places with each other.
Yeah, Padres lay an egg.
Padres laid the egg. That's what Nika's calling it. Well, it was ugly, and I wrote some notes here that the Padres looked afraid a little bit. They made uncharacteristic errors. Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, both Manny Machado dropping an infield bunt pop-up that he catches 99 out of 100 times. Jackson Merrill dropping a ball in center field that he catches 100 out of 100 times. I don't think I've ever seen him make a play that badly in the outfield. As a convert, you know, from shortstop, that was a big discussion, and that has never come up since he started playing the outfield. So the fact that he made an error like that is so uncharacteristic. And
it felt like they were very intimidated by the Dodgers. And that's just not a thing that we have seen so far this season.
Yeah, even the last time we played the Dodgers at home, we lost a really close, tight one, and then came back and blew them out in the second game. They won the last game. And you know, they beat us 3 out of 4 at their place last time as well. This time they win all 3. And I mean, the season series is over.
Yeah.
They won the season series, but there's some stuff that happened on the field that we need to talk about. And one of the keys, I think, to the Dodgers winning this series is that they just seem to always punish every single mistake that we deal up to them. You know, whether we drop a pop-up on the infield, it turns into runs. You know, we drop a play in center field, it turns into runs. You know, Dylan Cease misses his location, and it turns into a home run. And, you know, after he walked 3 guys, you would think that he would just be, like, wild. But then all of a sudden, they're just right there ready for that pitch that comes right over the middle, and bam, it's 3-0. It hurts. It hurts so bad to watch. And Dylan Cease looks like he has PTSD from Dodger Stadium. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. For some reason, he doesn't handle pressure well. At least that's my observation from last season's playoffs to this season's when it comes to the games that are on the line.
Meanwhile, the Padres do the opposite. You know, they, for example, on Saturday night.
You mean the Dodgers?
No, I'm saying the Padres do the opposite.
Oh.
The Dodgers take advantage of all of our mistakes, and the Padres, on the flip side, they can't take advantage of any mistake that the Dodgers want to hand them. You know, we have 3 base runners in the first inning against Blake Snell, and 2 of them are thrown out trying to steal bases. Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado.
Awful.
Fernando gets caught stealing right before an Arise double. So you got Padres Twitter bitching about the fact that Arise can't do anything hitting behind Tatis lately, and all of a sudden he hits a double right after he gets thrown out. And I'm not saying these things would happen if he didn't steal, you know, but like it just makes you nuts, right? Baseball will drive you crazy. Baseball is a cruel game sometimes. So it just felt like all the breaks were going against us and going in the Dodgers' favor. Even Blake Snell, who I mentioned, couldn't even get him rattled, Nika. Obviously, they didn't listen to our podcast.
Obviously.
Because, you know, we told them the formula on how to rattle Blake Snell. I mean, he only played for your damn team.
Not that long
ago.
ago.
In the locker room saying, like, guys, don't swing.
I know.
Let him beat himself. And instead, it's like Blake Snell's aura got transferred into Dylan Cease's body this whole season because he's walking way more guys than he used to, and his location and his accuracy's been horrible. He's turned into a nibbler.
Yeah. It's like they flipped.
It's like they flipped, and it's maddening. I want my old Dylan Cease back, Nika.
I know.
Look, yeah, this was ugly, and at the end of the day, the last thing I'm going to say about this is that I felt like the Padres were playing not to lose these games instead of playing to win. And they were making very safe choices managerially with Mike Shildt. And that's going to lead me into my next talking point here, Nika. Like, I want to show you these 2 starting lineups because they were in back-to-back games on Friday and Saturday. And Friday night, Clayton Kershaw started, a left-hander on the mound. And Saturday night, Blake Snell started for the Dodgers, a left-hander on the mound. And as you can see, we throw nearly the same identical lineup in there, with the only switch being that Jose Iglesias and Jake Cronenworth were flipped in the lineup both nights. And that's it. But the rest of it was all the same. And the lineup on the left did not get the job done on Friday night against Clayton Kershaw. In fact, they made old man look like a damn Cy Young Award winner again. 6 innings pitched with like 3 hits, no runs, or 1 run. I don't remember exactly what one run. We did get a couple runs on Friday night, but one of them against Kershaw. But we're making him look like 5 years younger out there.
Yeah.
And then, so what do we do Saturday? We trot out the same exact lineup against Blake Snell, another lefty. And meanwhile, we have Ryan O'Hearn, starting all-star DH that we acquired in a trade at the trading deadline, sitting on the bench for the sole reason that he's left-handed. But the problem is that he hits lefties better than some of the choices that were being given here, including Jose Iglesias. Like, no offense, dude. I like you on our team, and I think you have an important role player position as far as being the utility infielder and being able to give certain guys a spell. But going into game 1 against the Dodgers, man, I want my best 9 out there when we got a 1-game lead. I want to take that first game. And the whole series is different after that. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the fact that it would be even more pressure on Blake Snell if he had to pitch if the Padres won game 1.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Instead, we give him an easy coast, and we wind up being the team that looks like we have pressure on ourselves. Mm-hmm. So
playing it safe when the game requires you to take chances and take risks, it's not going to get you wins.
Yeah. I just don't like the fact that to me, it didn't feel like the team smelled blood in the water. It's a term we use often on this show, but you gotta go for it when you have these opportunities, and you gotta, you overtook this team.
Yep.
And you didn't smell the fact that they were struggling coming in, having lost 3 in a row to Anaheim again.
I know.
Like, they got swept by the Angels for the season. The Angels can come into Dodger Stadium and win, and they're not half the team that the Padres are this year.
Yeah.
No offense to the Angels. I'm not dissing the Angels.
Right.
I like some of their players.
Absolutely.
They don't have our starting pitching, and they don't have our bullpen. End of story. And yet you go in there and you look like a bunch of pansies compared to them. They're not afraid.
Yeah.
You got to stop being afraid. The bullpen usage on Sunday also was a little bit questionable. We have Robert Suarez going in the 8th inning of a game that we came back and tied after being down 4-0 in the first inning. We come back and tie it in the 8th inning, 4-4. Momentum is moving in our direction, and then Robert Suarez gives up an egg. And why is he pitching when it's not a safe situation? And why is Mason Miller not in the game in the 8th inning? These are the decisions that leave fans left scratching their head a little bit and being like, man, I really like you, Mike Shildt.
I know.
But the Padres aren't playing Shildt ball right now.
No.
And they're making mistakes on the field, errors that are uncharacteristic of this team. And it just makes me a little bit like, what's going on in there? You got to right the ship. It's your job. You're the manager.
And take a risk. Take a chance on something different. You're doing the same thing over and over, and you expect
all season,
different
and it's frustrating.
Result.
And Einstein would say you're crazy.
Yeah.
Einstein literally said, if you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, then you're crazy. Exactly. So Mike Shildt, you're crazy. And if you want to lose your job over your stubbornness to change in the offseason, then go right ahead, because this feels like Moneyball to me. This feels like Art Howe and Billy Bean and those scenes with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Brad Pitt, where it's like, who owns the lineup card? I really feel like AJ does not want this lineup going out 2 games in a row. The same exact way after and expecting a different result.
That's crazy.
It is. All right. Well, this has been depressing to talk about all over again, but we gotta turn the page. It's baseball. Mm-hmm. Every team goes through shitty streaks like this. The Mets are literally like, what have they lost? 13 of 15 games or 13 of 16 games? I don't remember at this point anymore, but that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad, And the fact of the matter is the season is not over, and it's not quitting time right now. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. You've worked too hard to stay within 2 games. Even after this awful sweep, you're still 2 games out, and you still get to play LA at your house this weekend. And that becomes probably the most important stretch series of the year. And you cannot look past the Giants right now in order to get there. So you have to play focused baseball starting tonight. And you have a 4-game series with the Giants. The Giants are going to want to, they finally won a game at home yesterday.
Oh,
finally.
wow.
So maybe they feel relieved and they lifted some piano off their back. Be careful with the Giants right now. Be careful.
They got nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose. You have to come out with a sense of urgency. This is gut check time, Nika.
I get that.
This is time for the Padres. They have to get mad. They have to get angry. I would highly recommend that they watch the 1991 Bulls play the Detroit Pistons in the playoffs. Watch how they overcame their nemesis. Watch how they slam dunked on the defending champions in the playoffs. They took it from them.
That's what the Padres need to do. They need to take the game away from the Dodgers.
They did. They swept them. The Pistons walked off the court, didn't even shake their hands,
I
cost
remember.
Isaiah Thomas a spot on the Dream Team. To this day, to this day, he feels like he was robbed of being on that Dream Team. And Michael Jordan wouldn't let him on because he refused to shake his hand. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So, just know that you can still do this. Just know that you can still take it from them. The star power needs to show up for the Padres. Tatis, Machado, X-Man, Jackson Merrill, if his ankle's going to be healthy. He got removed from the game yesterday after rolling his ankle on Friday or Saturday night.
And stop playing safe. Stop doing the lineup so safe because the sheet of paper is telling you to
Start over. Look at this 26-man roster right now and start over. Get creative. If we need to do what we did on Friday more often, if we need to start Mason Miller and then put in Cease in the 2nd or 3rd inning, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's get a lead and then put in Cease and see if he can go from the 3rd to the 8th or something. I don't know. Who knows? Get creative. Let's work it out. Let's figure it out.
Right, exactly. Step outside the box a little bit. Don't do the same thing over and over and expect the same, different result. Anyway.
And the last thing I'm going to say is stop beating yourselves. Make sure that you don't make these errors that are so uncharacteristic of yourselves, and play with confidence. You can beat these bastards.
Absolutely. They done it before. This is not impossible task to achieve.
Yes. I mean, the Padres team that we saw come from behind last April and win a game at Dodger Stadium. They won 2 out of 3 in that series last April at Dodger Stadium. They can beat this team, and a lot of the same faces are on there. They need Mike Shildt to bring this new group from the trading deadline together, and they need to make permanent changes to the lineup. End of story.
Great advice. Hopefully he will hear you.
And Fernando, please go and watch our video from last Friday about Albert Pujols and the batting tee, because you need to find your swing before October 1st, sir, and the sooner the better.